All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us, from all of us here at the ASAP Network.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the ASAP Sports Network. I am Ace from the West Coast, and you are watching another episode of Just Say the Truth. And tonight, I am joined by the one, the only, the Mr. Delusional Freddie Henderson. How's it going tonight, my man?
Man, when you greet me with respect, Ace. I know it's been a minute since we've done the show. You be respectful, especially when we have guests on the show. So I'm good to be here.
Sorry. My bad, Freddie. I was not expecting that. I'm sorry.
and then we have, of course, we have the one, the only Mr. Jonathan Mathis. How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up? I just saw that Freddie got put on blast.
So I got a question. I got a question.
What's up?
Why did I have a nickname and Jonathan don't?
Hey, I will get him a nickname, but he's got to have a nickname like that. He'll have to give some delusional takes like you do all the time. So I can't give him that nickname yet until you do that. But anyway, so Freddie, I'm gonna ask you. Well, hold on. Before I get to that, I do have to introduce our special guest tonight, which is none other than Rachel Hills. How you doing tonight, Rachel?
Good. How you guys doing? Can I just put a plug in for that paparazzi? So I wear paparazzi jewelry and I love it. So that plug at the beginning with the paparazzi, I mess with the paparazzi and I love their jewelry. So fashionable jewelry, very affordably priced. So I love it. So thumbs up to Suzanne and thumbs up to paparazzi.
I love it. Thank you very much, Rachel. Thank you. So, Freddie, I got a question for you, sir. Here, we're going to go ahead and start out. So tell me, if people want to win a free ASAP Network t-shirt, how can they do that?
Man, listen. All you have to do is like our page, follow our page, comment during the show. Just get involved. And once you do that at the end of the month, we're going to tally up all the comments, all the likes, and then you get a chance to win your very own free ASAP t-shirt.
Now, Freddie, I'm going to ask you this question too. Let's say they can't come on, they can't comment because they're busy at work, but they still see that they want one of those awesome shirts. How else can they get one of those awesome shirts?
Hey, all you have to do is message one of the analysts, message the page, just get in contact with one of us. You can buy the shirts. They're $14.99 plus shipping and handling. It might be a little extra for the, that's for the size of small and 2XLs. You can take that off the screen now. But for us bigger husky dudes, it might be a little extra. I'm a little husky. I'm not big, just a little husky. There's a difference.
We love it. All right. So as you know, we got some lit topics tonight. We got some fire topics that we are ready to jump into. And we'll see, though, if Trey's coming back on. I think he might be having some technical difficulties at the moment. So hopefully he'll be able to join us. But the first topic that we want to jump into tonight is we want to talk about the Deshaun Watson situation that is currently going on right now. Right now, I'm pretty sure it's right around 15 cases, could be upwards to 22 from what I'm hearing. So with this being said, I'll go ahead and I'll start out with Rachel Hills on this one. What is your thoughts on this whole situation with Deshaun Watson?
There's a lot of feelings and emotions I'm having behind this, because one thing is I'm an advocate for women. I was a sexual assault, domestic violence advocate. And so I've been with women when they have been sexually assaulted. I've been in the hospital room with them while they have received their rape kit and had to answer some of the most intrusive questions from police officers conducting investigations. So it's very hard because I believe women, I support women. With this, it's just, for me, the timing is very suspect for all of these. These are all civil allegations and not criminal. I think that's saying something when it's a civil thing and he's not being, there's been no investigations open under the law. There's just been investigations opened up with the NFL. So it's just, I kind of equated it on my show with Muhammad Ali and Martin Luther King, and he is neither one of them. But when you have a person who is a powerful Black person and they want to assert themselves and be in control of their own future, you see forces behind that happen. And the thing is, if this really all took place, because also the lawyer that has brought these allegations to light is very shady as well and has some questionable things in his background. But if this thing really did happen and Texas knew about it and they hid it, that's even worse. Because the NFL, they have security, they have, it's just ridiculous amongst the security, and people know. So if, Texas knew about this and they hid it and they're pulling it out because he wants to leave, that's also very problematic as well. So normally, people don't like a Black person trying to take control of their own future, exercising the power that they have. And one thing is, they look at it like, we've given you these things. We've given you money. We've given you access. We've given you proximity to whiteness, which is the ultimate goal. And I'm not trying to get all, Malcolm X or anything like that. But we've given you these things. We can take them away. And this is one of the ways that we can take it away, and we can damage you to the point where you might never play again because he wants to get out of there. So it's just really questionable. But, if, these things did happen, allegations are true, I support these women and I believe that, they deserve to be compensated or have their day in court. But it's just a jumble of emotions right now with it. Is this true? And, I don't want to, it's easy to say, well, he doesn't have to pay for it or do these things, because we've been on college campuses. I went to Ohio State, so I know what women were willing to do without, being any money exchanged. And supposedly one of the accusers said it was consensual, but she's trying to extort him for $30,000 still. So, how can you, bring civil charges against someone for consensual sex? And the woman admitted it was consensual. So I don't know. There's a lot going on here. So many different layers to this case. So.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just going to say one interesting thing that I kind of heard, that somebody I know had brought it up, that I'm like, I don't see Deshaun Watson doing something, and I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about what he said could have been was because Deshaun Watson wanted out of Houston so bad that they're like, maybe Watson decided to pay these women to put these allegations against him so Houston will let him go. And I'm like, I don't see it going that far. I don't think that quarterback would do that, or a player would do that. So Rachel, what do you think of that? Just really quick, what do you think of that?
You said whether or not he, I'm sorry, can you repeat your question for me? I'm sorry.
So what they were saying was that they're like, how do we know that Deshaun Watson didn't pay these women to come forward and to basically be like, help me get out of Houston. This is a way I can get out of Houston by you stepping forward and saying this, and I'll pay you to come forward and say this. And when I heard that, I'm like, that's ridiculous. I don't think that anybody would ever do that.
Because this is something that could affect his professional future. He might never play again, depending on the outcome of this. So I don't understand. That just doesn't make any sense, because right now, only Deshaun Watson is looking bad. And Houston has no desire to let him go. So, this is
right.
The thing. Houston don't want to get rid of him. And if this stuff was true, Houston would have cut him that same day they found out. But he's still a Houston Texan. So I don't believe that. I don't believe any of this. I believe that Houston wants to ruin him on the way out the door. But they have no interest in trading him either. And there's interest from other teams. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I would have traded him straight up for Baker. I ain't gonna lie.
All right.
But yeah,
right.
that's a far-fetched, ridiculous idea to tarnish your reputation, professionally and as an individual and a human. I don't think he would ever go that far.
Yeah, because it's not just him; it's hurting his name,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But before I go, I want everybody to know here at the ASAP Network, we do not condone any violence towards females, anything dealing with sexual assault or anything like that. So, but I will say this: if this is true, Deshaun Watson deserves to get into trouble. He deserves to be banned from the NFL. He deserves to have some kind of legal action taken towards him. Because if these allegations are true, he broke the law. No questions asked about it. But also, I think it's come to a time and place where I wish this law was among us as a world. If a female could come out here, if anybody can come out here and lie, because not only are you just messing with this man's money, you're messing with this man's name. And then your name is just as important as your money. If the female come up and they got caught lying, I wish they would get in trouble just as much. I wish there would be a way where they can get in trouble just as much as the person actually did it. Just because, like I said, because what you're doing to this man's name is just you're attacking him. He's in the news for the wrong reasons. And like Rachel said, it's the timing. He wants to get out of Houston. Okay? Where all the free agency goes down, this drops. Right then and there, boom. Why? Because, I hope he didn't do it. But like I said, if he did do it, he deserves to get in trouble. He should be banned from the NFL. I would not be surprised if he becomes on the exemption list, just to protect himself. With something like this going on, I'd be surprised if he didn't get on the list. But until he's found guilty, he should still be able to get a paycheck. Until he's found guilty, like I said. But when the numbers keep adding up, you kind of raise the eyebrow a little bit. It's kind of you pause, say, okay. And what I don't understand is you make millions and millions of dollars, and you can't get a masseuse world only on Instagram. Can somebody tell me that? You make millions of dollars, and you can only find a masseuse on Instagram. He got to be smart on his side because stuff like this can happen. But at the end of the day, if they're lying, they need to be punished as well. That's my take on it.
Yeah, because it could be a quick money grab as well. Those numbers going up. And if people approach you like, hey, you can get some money, by doing this, what are people going to do? And you mentioned about his name. What did Tina Turner say? And what's love got to do with it? I just want my name. So, I think something nefarious is going down. Put it like that.
And I will say this.
I don't know what.
And I will say
going down.
I will say this. It comes a time where, maybe, like you said, your name is important. I don't know. Maybe, what do you guys think of maybe he should have paid these women off before they even put him out there?
No, if you come out and pay them off immediately, you're almost showing you're almost showing like proof of guilt. Exactly. Because you're basically like, hey, I'll pay you off just to stop this, and you're basically being like, yeah, I'm guilty. Here, just take the money. So if you know you're innocent, you're not just going to come out and pay somebody just to end it. No, I would never do that. But before we go to Jonathan and Shrey on this really quick, because I know, Rachel, you are limited on time. I know that. So there was one topic in the NBA side that I wanted to get to before you were jumping off here. And Freddie?
I have a little time, so if you guys need me for longer, that's cool too. So go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, all right. Well, we're good. So, okay, so if you have a little bit more time, then we'll just go ahead and finish up with this topic really, really quick, and then we'll jump to our next one. So, Jonathan, did you have anything to add in on this topic?
Yeah, topics like this, when you first hear about any type of allegations against any player, not just a player, but any person in general, it's always a convoluted story because you don't have all the pieces to the story. So it's kind of hard to analyze and really give your opinion on it. And most of the things that we're hearing about it now is based on public opinion, really, because you're just hearing allegations come out each day, it seems. And each day, it seems there's a lawsuit been filed against Deshaun Watson. I said this the other day in the video. I think the NFL needs to do a better job addressing inappropriate conduct and sexual assault. I think the NFL needs to step up and be a little bit better when it comes to that. You've seen over the years the inconsistencies with Roger Goodell and how he has handled domestic violence issues and things like that in the NFL. So I think the NFL is to blame here as well. On Deshaun Watson, it looks really bad right now. And he said that he wants to clear his name, and I hope that none of these allegations are true, because if they are, he's in a world of trouble, and I don't see how you can let him continue on with his career in the NFL. But these kind of things are very damaging to one's reputation. It puts a ugly black eye not only on the league but on the player himself, and it just looks terribly bad for Deshaun Watson. And if these allegations are not true, I feel very sorry for him because it seems to me that they're trying to set him up to sabotage him in the end, and that's not right. Just because he's not satisfied in the city anymore and that he wants out, and he announced that he wants to play somewhere else, that's not the way you handle the situation. Just let him go. If he doesn't want to be there anymore, just let him walk and let him be happy somewhere else. But don't try to destroy the man's career. If that is, we don't know, because again, we don't have all the facts. We still trying to gather bits and pieces to the story. But right now, that's really all I have on it. I really don't know what else to say about it. But as the days go on, we will know a little bit more about this story, and I'm curious to know more. Until then, I'm just gonna kind of be careful what I say and reserve judgment and just hope in the end that Deshaun Watson is innocent and that he can go on with his life and have a good NFL career someplace else.
All right, Trey, did you have any thoughts?
I cut out because my internet sucks over here, but it's just one of those things that I just want to say that I've known people who've been accused of this, and it's ruined their lives, and it sucks that that's what happened. But my only thing is, if it is true, I'm proud for these women that come out and do it, because everyone should speak out, and they shouldn't be afraid of anything. It shouldn't be that hard for them to come out and anything. But this is just a weird story in itself, because in high school and college, you didn't hear anything bad about Deshaun Watson, not even a bad grade or nothing at all. And then all of a sudden he will get traded from Houston. He wants to be out of Houston. And then I'm not saying I don't believe these women, but I also don't there's just enough facts out there for me. And I'm one of those guys. I'm like, everyone's jumping on Twitter and say, oh, he's good and blah, blah, blah. I'm one of these guys that are like, hold on, I believe every man is innocent until proven guilty. I believe that full-heartedly, because I've witnessed it firsthand, friends who've been falsely accused, and it's ruined their lives. So I just caution everyone just to be, because we're in a right now society. We need everything right now. We want the answers right now, and it's going to take time. And I just pray that everyone gives patience and doesn't ruin any one of the women that have come forward or the Deshaun Watson in that case. We just all need to be patient and let the judicial system do its job. It's kind of fishy to me. I mean, there's been a lot of stories out there, like the lawyer's one of the owner's best friends or something like that. And then 14 women came out. And then now today with 2 other women coming out, you have a lot of people on Deshaun Watson's lawyer side saying that he is a perfect gentleman and this so forth and so on. So I just hope that everyone just takes time, just let the judicial system work itself out, whatever the case, civil suit, if it goes to criminal charge, whatever. But everyone should have their day in court. Everyone should just be mindful of that on both sides. And I for one, I hate seeing it. And I just want to say one thing. Well, I don't condone any of this whatsoever, but I will say this: if any of these allegations are, if we find out they're false, it's going to make it harder for women to come out in the future because of this reputation. And it's already hard enough because people they don't believe women anyway. But it takes a lot of courage, and I applaud these women. If these allegations are true, I do applaud these women for doing it. But like I just said, just be patient. That's all we can do. We can't just rush to judgment. It takes time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very fishy, and it's a weird story. And it's hard to believe what the truth is because we just don't know. We're just hearing all these women come out all of a sudden.
All right. So now, before we take up too much more time, we want to jump to another topic on the NBA side here. So we'll go ahead and jump to Freddie. I think you're on mute.
Ace, I want to know what the topic is because, I have a feeling you about to take a shot at me. I really do. I have a feeling it's coming towards me, so I'm going to wait and see what this topic is.
Well, we're kind of off the hook right now because it's not a Lakers topic because you know exactly how I feel about the Lakers. I try and stay away from the Lakers as much as I possibly can.
Smart man.
You know what? I changed my mind now because now you went ahead and did that. But all right, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so our next topic is I want to talk about. We know that the trade deadline for the NBA is coming up. So out of all these teams that are in the NBA, who do you feel like needs to make a move? The biggest move at the trade deadline. And with this one, I'll go ahead and I'll start with Jonathan on this one. Jonathan, who needs to make that big move at the deadline?
I know Freddie's going to hate me for this one, but I'm going to go out and say it. I think the Clippers really are in desperate need of some help. I think they should go out and try to get Kyle Lowry. I know the Sixers are one of the teams that's interested in him, but I think at this point they need some backcourt help. They can use him. And then I'm hearing reports that the Bulls might be interested in Lonzo Ball going into their backcourt. But I think it's the Clippers that need the most help right now. If they want to make that extra playoff push, I think they need another guy to come in and provide stability for that offense and kind of rally that team, and Kyle Lowry is that guy that can do that. He has playoff experience. He's won a championship. He has that championship pedigree. He plays his heart out and he gives it his all. And I think he's, he can be inconsistent at times. There's times that he's a hit or miss, but hey, when he's on his game, he's clicking. And I just like him. I think he's an attractive, guy right now that's on the market. And I think the Raptors really want to get something for him, and they can because he's set to become a free agent. And I just like the Clippers for him.
All right. Trey, do you have a rebuttal for Jonathan, or do you have your own, or what's up?
I don't. I'm a firm believer that nothing big is going to happen tomorrow. We see this every year. We always look up to it. We're on Twitter all day till 3:00, and nothing ever happens. The NBA Jump does their thing, but I mean, if it really comes down to it, the team that really needs help is Freddie's Los Angeles Lakers. That team we saw the last couple of nights. They have no scoring, Freddie. They have nothing. Dude, they just got demolished by 30 points the other night. And I'm a Laker guy, but I don't like LeBron. But even without you can't trust AD to stay healthy. I like LeBron. I think he's the greatest basketball player right now.
Log out. Bye, guys.
I think he's the best right now, but I don't. Well, that's another subject. But right now, LeBron and AD, LeBron can't carry this team on his own. He's getting older. He finally has a serious injury after so many years. They need to get rid of Pope. Pope is they need to get another scorer in. They need to get rid of Montrezl Harrell. I like that trade that the Charlotte Hornets and the Lakers were kind of talking about. That brings a little bit more scoring. Your team needs scoring because when you bring AD and LeBron back, who's going to be your third wheel? You can't count on Kyle Kuzma. That guy's wild. You can say, he might give you 1 or 2 games.
Are you done yet?
No, I'm not done because it's my time and I'm doing it now. Right?
Hurry it up, man. This show's called Just Say the Truth.
No, honestly, okay, I'm telling the truth. I think the Lakers need another scorer, but they still because I don't know how long. But honestly, the team that really needs help is the Boston Celtics, and they need to get Gordon. I don't care if they get rid of Marcus Smart or nothing. They need to bring Gordon from the Magic, and I think Danny Ainge will do that by the trade deadline tomorrow. That's my real tell the truth.
All right. So, Freddie, you're going to go last. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give this one to Rachel.
Cool. I love going last.
Actually, I'm not a Lakers fan, but I was going to say the Lakers just because LeBron and AD are out, and we all know that the West is very brutal. So in order for them to have that playoff position that they so desperately desire and covet, and also they are the defending champions, they need something to get them through that stretch to get them to the playoffs. I don't believe LeBron's injury is as severe as people are claiming. It's an ankle sprain. LeBron is basically bionic and half metal at this point in his life. So, and then in the way he went down hurt, that was an Academy Award winning performance. So, one of the things that I was saying on my show is, you notice the timing of this injury. A couple weeks ago, stories was coming out about whether LeBron needed to rest some. And LeBron was like, no, I'm good. I ain't resting. And there's injury now, and guess when he's supposed to be healed? Right before the playoffs start. So I wouldn't put it above LeBron and his camp for an injury to develop. I don't know if his ankle has a Twitter account yet, just like his elbow did when he was hurt for Cleveland. I'm not sure if that account is up and running just yet. But LeBron will be fine, but it's getting the Lakers to that point in order for them to be able to contend and have that good positioning in the West. Also, my Cleveland Cavaliers, how versus everybody. Yeah, it's a cluster, and right now the son of Dan Gilbert is running the team. Grant Gilbert, he has no idea what he's doing, and it shows. And tragically, Andre Drummond has been sitting the bench for over a month now to be traded, but that's a huge contract that nobody really wants to take on. So, and also the interest is dwindling down. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the Cleveland Cavaliers. There's no hope for the next few years, so it just is what it is.
I will say this real quick before Freddie goes. I don't buy that injury, like the rest thing, because, if it is rest, this team can't afford to go down to the 7th or 8th seed. I mean, they can easily go down. Like, this ain't the Eastern Conference. We all know LeBron doesn't care about seeding, but this ain't the Eastern Conference. This is the Western Conference. Any team like the Jazz, the Denver Nuggets, the Clippers. I'm just saying, this team can't afford AD and LeBron to be out that long right before the playoffs. They're going to drop. If this team that they have is going to be the team you're going to have in the future, good luck, because you're not even going to have a home field advantage in anything.
Yeah, the West 70 wins to make the 8th seed. So,
well, yeah, because the Lakers right now are legitimately only 4.5 games ahead of the 8th seed of the Mavericks. That's it. They're 4.5 games.
Are hot. Go ahead, Freddie. Let's all mute for Freddie.
Yes, Freddie, you go ahead.
Oh wait, that wasn't. I'm rebuttaling Trey's and I'm rebuttaling Rachel's because this is not what I had to say. Okay,
because say what you had to say.
You got me fired up. I mean, Y'all act like we a bunch of scrubs over here. I mean, pump the brakes.
I don't care what y'all
Yeah,
are.
the Lakers scrubs.
Pump
I'm
the brakes.
but I'm being a realist. I know what
Jonathan, you had your chance. Now it's mine, okay? Pump the brakes just a touch. Listen here, y'all. It made me feel so good yesterday seeing AD out there getting the jump shots. So I said, you know what? We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. Lakers fans, do not be worried. I'm going to tell you why. It don't matter what season we are, because guess what? We have LeBron James. We have Anthony Davis. Nobody in the West is going to beat that if they're healthy.
Clippers.
They are more afraid of us. If we go into it, could you imagine a healthy, rested LeBron James going to the playoffs with a healthy, rested Anthony Davis after
And who
what
else?
they did in the finals in the bubble? Could you imagine them coming there healthy? You see everybody else banged up. I agree with you, Rachel. I don't think this injury is as serious as they're saying it is. They know what they're doing. And guess what? They're making these other teams, other players around them better. Why? Because that's what they're going to depend on themselves to get it right. So that means Kyle Kuzma, you had to get in a rhythm. Caldwell Pope, you had to get in a rhythm. Dennis Schroeder, you got to get in a rhythm. Montrezl Harrell, you got to get in a rhythm. But, I mean, and then you know what? You talking about Andre Drummond. He's coming to L.A. I heard news that he's already in L.A. right now. He just ready for Rob Pelinka to put that ink on paper.
And he deserves to go to a winning team for how the Cavaliers did him. They need to do him a solid and send him there. And that could be one of the most helpful things y'all have. So that'd be good for him and good for y'all.
Winning
He's fresh.
Because guess what we can give him? We can give him a starting position. You know he's giving like 17 and 13. The dude's going to be a monster in the paint. Now, listen, this was what my original debate who needs to make a move. Jonathan, you almost hit it. You almost hit it on the nail. But it's not Kyle Lowry. It's Lonzo Ball who needs to be with the Clippers. You talking about a point guard. You talking about a point guard who can make it easy for Paul George, who can make it easy for Kawhi Leonard, especially when it comes to the fourth
Make it easy for Paul George so he could brick more shots.
No. we know PG-13 this year is on a different level than he was last year.
Same. No, he wasn't. He was MVP caliber last year, and look what he did in the playoffs.
No, that's was when he was in OKC.
What? Oh my god.
Oh god.
Yeah. I'm just saying, Lonzo Ball is having one of his best years this year. He's shooting like 42% from three. I mean, he's having his best year this year, guys. I mean, he can make it. He's a leader. He can defend. He can push the ball. He can get shooters open. He can make it happen for him. Don't give me no nonsense about my Los Angeles Lakers. We don't care about seeding. And Trey, you next time you come on this show, you tell the fans the truth. Because what you just told them was a bunch of baloney.
Oh crap! You don't have any scoring outside LeBron and AD.
Buddy, this is
2 days ago.
It's true.
This is why you get the name of Mr. Delusional. This is why you've always had that name. Okay, that's why, because you make takes like this that we're like, you got to be kidding me, Freddie.
Ace, trust me, when the Lakers get out of playoff contention, Nate, we're gonna watch. We're gonna see.
Okay.
So LeBron James is gonna be Superman. He coming back to play to come save the day. It's going to happen.
I love it.
No, number one, Freddie. Okay, you flip flop a lot. Like you do a lot of moonwalking a lot, and what I mean by that is, I remember a conversation that we had last week. Right?
Yeah.
We were talking about the Lakers last week,
right?
And you came out and you were talking about LeBron James, and you're like, well, if LeBron James was hurt, but Anthony Davis was healthy,
right,
the Lakers would be in serious trouble. And then the other day when LeBron James got hurt, you're like, oh, well, Anthony Davis is about to come back, so we're going to be okay. I'm like, wait a second. Just the other day.
No, I did not say that, Ace. What I said was, Anthony Davis should carry us to the playoffs, but he ain't winning no championship.
I sure to God hope.
He's not winning the championship without LeBron. That's what I said.
Okay, whatever. Go ahead, Ace. Go.
No, it's all good. But anyways, So, Jonathan, I was actually surprised because you had posted a little bit about it on Facebook. You actually had posted about the Celtics. And actually, I was kind of in agreement with you that the Celtics do need another man. They need a big man.
Aaron Gordon.
They need LaMarcus Aldridge.
The Celtics need something. They're underachieving this year so much. It's just,
Are they?
They are. They
are. The Celtics are underachieving.
Strong at all. They haven't come out of the gate strong at all. They're undersized. They have.
Well, you know why? Because Danny Ainge did not want to take chances. Let's be real. When Anthony Davis on New Orleans, who had a better deal on the table? Does the Lakers or could the Boston Celtics make a better move? Heck, they could have got James Harden, but Danny Ainge is afraid to make these big splashes. I mean, that's a good question. I mean, he did not put this roster good together, and he admitted to that.
But Boston needs it. They need a big man. That's what they need. Would they go out and get somebody like Andre Drummond? Probably not. They probably wouldn't.
No,
because but they could use a guy like him. They could use a big man. That's what they need. He's
already in LA, so we're not going to mention nothing about him in Boston.
This year, they're lacking chemistry. Just something about Boston is not right this year.
Yeah, you're right, Ace.
They're recipe for success. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling y'all right now, Aaron Gordon is going to be a Boston Celtic. I'm telling y'all that right now.
But did you hear the reports, Trey? Did you hear the reports?
I don't care. They're not dead. I don't care. They're not dead.
He had second thinking.
No, they're not dead.
They're not dead at all.
No.
Anyway,
no, they're
Freddie,
not.
Freddie, going back to your Lakers real quick. You're all talking about Drummond real quick. I'm telling y'all, I'm hearing. Don't be surprised if when the Spurs buy Aldridge, y'all going to get Aldridge. That'll be a good fit for y'all. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It'll be a good fit for y'all. It'll hold y'all up underwater.
What do you mean, y'all? Who's your team? I thought you was a Laker fan. Like, come on.
I am, but I hate LeBron. When he came to the Lakers,
why you keep saying y'all? Why you keep saying y'all? Say us.
I don't know. I think Andre Drummond is a better fit for the Lakers.
Who?
I like LaMarcus Aldridge for one reason. He can do what Marcus Gasol was supposed to do. Be a big who can shoot the three, spread the floor, pass the ball.
He could spread the floor. He could do all those things. He has all those qualities, but the guy disappears in the postseason.
I think with LeBron and AD, it'll make it easier.
Productive against the best competition.
Well, Jonathan, he don't have to be the best player on the court no more. He's going to be the third or fourth option now. LeBron and AD going to space the floor out. Well, all he has to do is, do his role
and be effective in the post.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell y'all sleeping on Kyle Kuzma. Yesterday, you look at them stats. He almost had a triple double.
And still lost by 30.
10 and 7. Hey,
still lost by 30.
It don't matter.
They're supposed to.
It doesn't matter at this point. The Lakers are on a losing streak, and it's not looking good.
Nope.
All right. Anyway, so I think that topic in there was getting really, really good. I like that topic. That topic was really, really fun. The other team that I was kind of thinking about too, and you guys may not agree on this one, but I was looking at the Phoenix Suns because I know that the Phoenix Suns right now are playing really, really good, but I feel like they could also use a big man to really help them out.
You're right. You're right.
But
I agree, guys. I think they're a big man away from actually scaring the Lakers for the.
Absolutely. Freddie, are you kidding me? This Phoenix team is really, really good. They're
good.
They're really good.
They got a different backcourt. Now they finally have a floor general in Chris Paul, so they are really good.
Y'all want to know what team that I'm afraid of in the West?
You better be the Clippers. The Clippers.
We ain't scared no Clippers. The Clippers? Oh, please. Oh,
they had your number. They had the Lakers' number.
The Dallas Mavericks. If Luka can get hot.
He's already hot. What are you talking about?
Hey,
he's already hot.
That's what I'm afraid of.
He's in the MVP caliber right now.
He needs more help too.
Yeah, he ain't beat no Lakers on his own.
No, he ain't beat no Lakers.
Kristaps Porzingis can come back healthy and show us what he showed us in that bubble.
Well,
they almost
ain't the bubble.
They almost knocked off the Clippers.
Man, I will say this. I know this is getting off subject, but it is good to know to see Karis LeVert back playing again. He just dropped 28 points tonight.
Yes.
Especially after the injury that he's dealing with the little kidney thing. That's definitely a good thing to come back. Ace, it's all on you, my friend.
No, I was listening to that because stories like that I think are magnificent because we didn't even know if Karis LeVert this year was going to be able to come back and play. There was a lot of speculation after they found the mask that they're like, I don't even know if this year if he'll be back, and he's back. So congratulations to him. That's a excellent story.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I want to hear one thing from Miss Rachel, one of our topics, Ace, before she leaves.
Go ahead.
That's one of the football one. I want her to pump me up, make me happy. Because, I already know what Trey will do with this, so I don't want to hear his mouth. It's who will win the NFC East next year. That's the one I want to know.
Oh, so you want to go down that route. Okay.
Man, NFC East is the worst division in football. Who could possibly win it again?
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. I mean, maybe Philly with Jalen Hurts. We'll see. Maybe Philly might come out. I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. It's tough. The worst division in football. The Cowboys ain't winning up. Well, Dak gonna be back next year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe the Cowboys, but they're terrible. You can go 7-9 and make the playoffs.
No,
it definitely won't be the Giants. Sorry,
Yeah.
Fred. I just had to throw that one out there.
Oh, that. Who did you want me to say?
The Giant.
Freddie wants you to say the Giants. Freddie wants you to say
All
the
right. This show is called Just Say the Truth, right? Listen, let's go about this whole division. Okay, let's go with the Washington football team. Okay, they're a good defensive
That's my
team.
pick. That's my pick right there.
They're a good defensive team, but what's on their offense? Who's their quarterback? They don't know. All right, let's go to the
Fitzpatrick.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Patrick.
Fitzpatrick is a quarterback now.
Let's go about the Philadelphia Eagles. They got too much drama going in their franchise. They confuse too. The Dallas Cowboys, I will say, even though they're a mediocre team, they got the delusional fans and all that in Big D. Jerry Jones in the $1 million playpen. They got to get offense, okay? They got the best offense in the NFC East, okay? I will say that. But they don't have a good defense. They probably have the worst defense in the NFC East. Now let's look at the New York Giants football team. They are the most complete team in that division. They have the best.
All right, guys.
They have the best coach in Joe Judge.
To all of our viewers right now, since Freddie's going off on a tangent about the Giants, now's a great time to go to the snack bar, go to the kitchen, get some popcorn, get a drink.
Check this out. They got the better defense in the division, and their offense is a balanced offense. I believe Daniel Jones is going to have his best year this year. You guys see this dude's weapons. Saquon Barkley's going to be back. The offensive line is better. We got Kyle Rudolph and Evan Ingram. We got Galladay as our receiver. We got Sterling Shepard. So this team is a more complete team. This is the only complete team in the NFC East. I don't see nobody getting our way in the NFC East.
Saquon Barkley is the engine to that offense. He's the engine to that offense, not Daniel Jones. Not Daniel Jones.
You said Saquon is.
Well, of course. But guess what? Saquon, Danny Dimes, and when you say Daniel Jones, you say Danny Dimes. He's going to be throwing them dimes this upcoming year. He's going to lead this team to the playoffs. And watch y'all say, well, Freddie told us so. Freddie told us so. Yeah.
Oh,
What you going to say about that, Mr. Dallas?
I'm speechless right now. I'm like, because you were making a big deal about the signing of Kenny Golladay, which let me tell you this, okay? Let me tell you something about Kenny Golladay. How many games does he average playing a season?
He's going to play all of them this year.
He barely did that.
I don't care about the past. I'm talking about the future. Live for the future, not the past.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. So, Trey, he's calling you out on this one, Trey. So, go ahead, bud.
Yeah, come on, delusional Cowboy fan.
Oh, I can talk? Okay. I thought I was banned from the show here for a second. Okay. Whatever.
Well, almost for not liking LeBron, but it ain't my show. Go ahead.
Whatever. Whatever. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, so this might shock some of y'all. I actually kind of agree with Freddie a little bit on this one.
What you say?
What the? Oh my God!
Wow, we actually got what?
I don't totally agree with you, but I think Dallas is the team with their stay healthy. The defense got better last year as everything, but the secondary got a lot better. But New York Giants, the only issue I have with the New York Giants is Danny Dimes. He cannot throw dimes. That guy is wildly inconsistent. And guess who's Jason Garrett's his offensive coordinator? Give me a freaking break. He saw what he did in Dallas. It sucked. Anyway, Dallas, if everyone stays healthy, like Rachel, like Miss Hill said, it's the crappiest division. It used to be one of the best divisions in football of all. It's a crappy division right now. Everyone's young, but honestly, I think Dallas, if everyone stays healthy and it goes their way, and they utilize Zeke Elliott, and that they can keep that defense off the field, because that was a problem last year with all those 3-and-outs. I think Dallas has the best shot, but I would not be shocked if the New York Giants actually win that division next year.
And then you got to remember, we might have the best quarterback next year, depending on Dak Prescott.
You got it. Okay, now you're going.
Wait, what?
If Dak Prescott did not come back, if Dak Prescott did not come back off this injury looking like Dak Prescott, Danny Dimes could be the best quarterback in that division. I've seen growth out of Mr. Daniel Jones. I've seen it.
Can I say something? We have seen a improvement from Daniel Jones. In fairness, because he has played behind a developing and more revamped offensive line. But I still have to see more from Daniel Jones.
How much more?
You're hyping him up as if he's
What do you mean how much more?
An elite quarterback.
No, I'm not.
He's not this super elite quarterback. He's not. You're making him like he's Tom Brady, man. In the NFC East. Come on. He's not.
He's
He's
better than
not
Tom Brady.
What?
What?
Listen.
All right, I see how you call them delusional.
Thank you.
Brady, you earned that. I'm sorry, bro.
Talking about. The reason why I say that is because I'm not talking about. I'm talking about skills wise. There's a lot of quarterbacks better than Tom Brady. Can Tom Brady run?
What are you talking about?
Can Tom Brady run?
I don't care if he can run or not. The guy can still most accurate passer in the league. That's what.
Can Tom Brady run with the football?
I don't even like Tom Brady, but you don't have to run the ball when you can pass like that.
Oh, crap.
And when he has all the time in the world to throw the football, he doesn't need to be.
I'm just saying he's a better athlete than Tom Brady. That's all I'm saying.
I can agree with that, but not a better quarterback.
That's all I'm saying. He's a better athlete.
Well, you didn't say that.
He has nifty footwork. Just say that.
He's a quarterback.
Well, that's what I mean. He's a better athlete. Okay.
Thank you. I can understand that.
Words matter.
Yes.
And listen, Jonathan, look at this. Don't compare. Don't look at last year. Look at the year when he had a star running back and Saquon Barkley. When he had him, hey, Danny Dimes had some numbers behind him, my friend.
They're 0-5.
Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, man. Come on.
That's his name because he throw dimes.
Okay, Freddie, when he starts actually dropping dimes like he's supposed to be Danny Dimes, then you can come out and call him Danny Dimes. But right now, he hasn't earned that nickname. He's got to earn it first.
He has to earn that name. And he has ways to go before he enters this elite conversation. I just don't buy into it right now. Give it time, Freddie. You're trying to make him be something he's not right now.
You'll see.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. But I do want to touch on this comment we have here that Nate put up here on the screen that said he has a hot take. He says that the NFC East will be better than the NFC North.
Nate, yeah, I don't even know why you brought that up. Nate, stop it. And you have Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers doing his thing. Let's stop it. All right, I mean,
Hey, whoa. No.
Hey, hold on. Freddie, we're not, but you got to think there's not only one team in the NFC North. We all know that I'm a huge Packer fan. We know it, okay? But I'm saying he's talking about the whole NFC North. And
who else is there?
So when you're looking at the NFC North, Do you like Kirk Cousins? Do you like Andy Dalton?
No.
And do you like a Jared Goff? No,
No.
absolutely. Those 3 quarterbacks, you can't trust 3 of them.
Danny Dimes better than all 3 of them.
Oh my God.
Jared
Oh,
Goff
good.
is about to make the Lions worse.
Yes, he is. He is. So talking
I
about
playing in LA and it was terrible.
oh man. So talking about the quarterback wise, I mean, maybe it might be close that wise, but overall, I don't know. The Lions this year are going to be horrible. The Bears,
When are they never horrible? Like they're horrible every year. You had to
But
like, that's something new.
but they're going to be really bad this year, and I mean
And
like
Jared
for
Goff-
real.
They win 0-16. How much worse
But
can
he
you
doesn't
get?
have the protection.
That was
Yeah,
that was back in 2008.
I'm just saying that's how bad they've been. How much worse can they get?
I know, right? But then you have the Chicago Bears, who right now are a complete mess because they got rid of a bunch of guys on defense, and they got excited about trying to get Russell Wilson. They go, that's okay. We'll go with Plan B, and we'll sign Andy Dalton.
Hey, but I'm
It's
hearing
like the
rumors.
entire fan base in
Hey.
Chicago.
Hey, don't laugh at that. I'm hearing rumors that the talks are not dead and they're actually re-talking again, the Bears and the Seahawks.
I don't know.
I'm just
We'll
saying,
see.
don't laugh at that just yet.
No, but if you saw, though, when in those talks, they're talking about the 2 people that they have to trade. One is
I get
Khalil
them.
Mack, and then the other one is Robinson. So now you're giving away your best offensive weapon, and you're giving away your best defensive player with
I would-
3
you're right.
first-round picks.
I'm just saying the talks. I agree with you. I think it's I don't think they do it, but I'm just saying
Exactly.
I'll get rid of Mack for Wilson. I would.
We got some breaking news from the NBA. Bleacher Report just reported that the New York Knicks have emerged as a serious destination to trade for Andre Drummond. So,
yeah.
Now that's a surprise team this year. That's a stupid trade, but that's a surprise team this year.
Who they giving up for him?
they didn't
Julius
say.
Randle.
They didn't
No, the Knicks, Julius Randle.
Yeah, knowing the Knicks, they'll do
Well,
something.
if that's the case, we'll give you Montrezl Harrell for Julius Randle.
Yeah.
All right.
The Knicks, where careers go to die. Hey,
Exactly.
Brett, when you mentioned Chicago, though, Mr. Trubisky was just, even though he's from Cleveland, he was terrible, man.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm surprised they stuck with him as long as they did.
He signed with Buffalo. He's
Yeah.
now the backup
Yeah.
in Buffalo.
He might be
He's-
better as a backup, though. I like him as a backup quarterback, actually.
Yeah, hold the clipboard and
Yeah.
sit the bench. That might be the best place for him.
And
I
maybe,
disagree.
and maybe even hand out some water while he's
He can
at
make
it.
a lot of money sitting the bench as a backup quarterback.
I disagree because can we all say that? Well, this is not old school sports, okay? Where we actually gave players time to develop. We expect them to come out of college fast paced, like boom, 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 boom. I think sometimes we give up too soon on players. Like, look, for example, Lonzo Ball. He's at the Lakers. Everybody wanted to criticize him, give up on him. Brandon Ingram, he's not turning out to be who he is. Now look at these players. They're looking like stars. They're all stars. So sometimes we need to be patient with these players and let them develop and let them grow to who they are. Did anybody see Julius Randle being this all-star? But guess what? Nobody gave him time to grow.
You sound like a commercial. Mr. Trubisky shouldn't have went to basketball school, period. That was a
Exactly.
mistake.
I'm just saying, everybody can't come out of college and be LeBron James or Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, but
Hold
you
on.
don't go to UNC to play football, period.
All right. So with that, really quick. So Rachel Hills, I'm going to ask you: have you been watching March Madness?
Sparingly after my Ohio State Bucks ruined the whole country's brackets. I've been catching some games, yeah.
All right. So, which actually brings me to one of the other topics I wanted to do while you're here. So, and Jonathan, you're here. Trey, you're here. So, with that, right now, who is your favorite right now to win March Madness? And Trey, I know where you're going with this one. I already know.
Do you?
Jonathan, I think so because I think you said it before. Okay. I would be shocked if you went a different route, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
So, Jonathan, I'm going to start with you. Who should be the favorites to win this right now?
Well, we have a larger sample size with it finally getting to the Sweet 16. I'm going to go with the trendy pick. I'm going to go with Gonzaga. After watching them over the weekend, they're really a powerhouse. They are probably the top 4, top 5 team, one of the best top 5 teams since the last decade. It's incredible what Mark Few's program has accomplished with Drew Timey leading the way. I watched him against Oklahoma, and Oklahoma simply had no answer for him. He's one of the best big men in the country. He was getting his way down low, dominating inside the post. And I think why he's so effective in the post is because of his great footwork. He definitely has the size. But he's just a fun player to watch. And then you have Jalen Suggs. You have guys on there that can really play and be dynamic playmakers. I just like that team. But what has really surprised me during this tournament is the way the Pac-12 teams have played. Mm-hmm. No one saw UCLA coming. No one saw USC coming. And no one surely saw the Oregon Ducks come in. They played hard against
Beavers. The Beavers, Iowa, don't forget.
And the Oregon State Beavers, yes. But the team that amazed me as well from the Pac-12 was Oregon. Look what they did. They were just too fast, too athletic for Iowa. Big Ten has been the most disappointing conference, I would say, and the Pac-12 has been the most surprising one, to say the least. But I still got Gonzaga, climbing the mountaintop. I think they're the team to beat at this point. However, I will keep my eye on UCLA and USC because that's in my backyard. I cover those teams, writing about them all the time. And I like what I saw from USC as well. Evan Mobley is just an incredible player too. They even have him projected to go high in the upcoming draft. He's a talented player. Andy Enfield has done a terrific job with that program. And USC is finally looking like a prominent basketball program. Something we haven't really seen in this part of town. Usually they dominate in football, but that's a different story this year. And then, of course, you have UCLA being led by their new head coach, Mick Cronin. I always butcher his name. But he was brought here for one reason, and that was to revitalize this program, kind of restore some faith, and he has done that. And I think they are slowly rising back to national prominence. I don't want to say they are because it's still too early, but that team got a lot of talent as well. But it's been a fun March. It's been a lot of this tournament has provided a lot of upsets and disappointments and bracket breakers and everything else. But it's been a fun tournament to watch. But I still think Gonzaga will do something that Kentucky team couldn't do in 2015, and 2015, I believe, and that Wichita State team couldn't do. I think they will run the table.
All right. Trey, I saw that look you had when he said Gonzaga, and I'm like, were you shocked he said that? Because I know you said it before. I've heard you say that this is probably one of the best Gonzaga teams that you've ever seen. So at this point, I would have to say you're probably going to lean in that direction. I'm taking a guess, but Trey, go ahead.
You're right. Gonzaga is the best. This is the best Gonzaga team Freeze ever had at Gonzaga. This is the best, probably one of the best teams of all of basketball we've ever seen in a while. To be on from top to bottom, they score over 90 points a game. They play defense. Suggs is a beast. He's going to be freshman of the year. You have Tim's in the middle. You have they play it both off. If you try to slow, they play every style of basketball. They play slow ball. They can run on you. They can run. They can play slow ball. They change up the defense on you. This is one of the best teams. But I'm telling you, Even though I picked them to win, I don't trust them. I think something's going to happen. And I'm here to say the Baylor Bears can beat the the Zags in the finals. You have a three-headed monster in Teague, Mitchell, and forgot the other guy. You have Sides in the middle, Vittle. He can kind of contain Tim's a little bit. They can shoot the lights out from three. They can play defense. Baylor, they have a tougher weight. I mean, they have a tougher schedule to get to the finals than what the Zags do now because of all the upsets and everything. But I would not be shocked if you see both teams always highly disappoint. They always expect them to do stuff, and Baylor never makes the Final Four. They always stop at a 6 week, 16 early date. But I'm telling you, if Baylor Bears can make it to the championship, I do believe that they can pull that upset against Gonzaga. They're the only team I can see that can hang with Gonzaga. Now, go to Jonathan's point. I will say this. I don't know because we slept on the Pac-12. This is just a weird year because if the Pac-12 played 5 or 6 more games, they would have got more teams in. Like Oregon State would have been without winning the tournament, they would have been in. Colorado, I mean, that's a good comp. I've seen Oregon play a couple times. They're athletic. They're underrated. They should be a higher seed than what they actually are, and you saw that last night. USC, a product. They had a slow stretch, but the Mobley brothers, they can shoot the three from outside. They just destroyed Kansas. They have inside presence. That team, they can give Gonzaga a real run too, a scare too. But I'm telling you, UCLA's coming back too. I mean, the Pac-12 just didn't have enough games on the resume as the Big Ten, the Big 12, and ACC. And I mean, we all thought the Big Ten and the Big 12 were the best conferences this year. But come to find out, Big Ten only has one team, and that's Michigan. They barely stayed alive against LSU the other night, and that was a hell of a game. That was the best game I've seen all year. But honestly, I think it's Baylor and Gonzaga. I think that should be the championship, and we're all going to be blessed if that's the champ because it's going to be a high-scoring affair. It's going to look a little bit like the NBA finals. It's going to be a lot scoring, back and forth. It's going to be a really good game. But don't sleep. My prediction is don't sleep on Oral Roberts making it in the Elite Eight. So I'm telling you.
Yeah, Trey, I was going to say I do agree with you on Gonzaga being probably one of the best college basketball teams we've ever seen. But I also agree with you that I like to pick them to win the championship, but they're so hard to pick because they choke every single year. Yep. Whenever we're like they're the best team, they're going to win the championship, and then they come out and they lose the game that they should win. I'm like, yep, that's typical Gonzaga. They can't come out and win the championship like they're supposed to.
Ever since they had Adam Morrison, yep.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm like, do I really pick them? I continuously do it, and then they just let me down every single year.
Yeah, I always pencil them in, and they let me down too. But I'm looking at Drew Tim, and I'm saying, wow, what an amazing player. I mean, this guy has a tremendous motor, which allows him to score quickly and effectively. And he's just been fun to watch. But so many of these teams have been fun to watch. And I'm with Trey. I think if Oregon had beat Oregon State, they possibly could have gotten a 1 seed. The matchup that I'm excited about before we move on, guys, the matchup that I'm excited about is seeing UCLA play against Alabama, right? It's Alabama. Mm-hmm. They are going to now have a challenge. Is it Alabama?
No, yeah, it is Alabama. I'm sorry. I thought that was a fun one.
Yeah, it's
Alabama.
Right. They're going to have a real challenge now against Alabama. To me, that's a fun matchup, seeing those two teams go at it. We're really going to see who is the best team. I think that's a great matchup.
All right, so I want to get Rachel's opinion really quick on this before we end up calling it a show. So, Rachel. Now, from what you've seen, who do you have?
Well, I never picked Gonzaga because they always good for a choke job. Mm-hmm. So I normally would never pick them, but it looks like from this Sweet 16 bracket I've been checking out, it looks like they have the easiest road to get back to the Final Four. I don't think that they'd be able to make it to the national championship game because, like I said, they just managed to choke, and the moment is always too big for them. So coming out of the East, I don't like saying the name of that place.
It's not allowed, right?
Yeah, it borders a lake that has the same name as it that I've never swam in and don't plan on doing that. So I feel like they can come out of the East, and Juwan Howard was named Coach of the Year, which was an amazing feat, but whatever, I don't care about that. Coming out of the South, Baylor versus that team that beat Ohio State. I didn't know where the school was at, so I had to Google it. Just like I had to Google Siena in 2009. Had no idea. But, that Abrams kid, the number one scorer in the nation. So, who knows what'll happen, but I think they'll eventually fall to Baylor. And then coming out of Midwest, I'm going to ride with Sister Jean in Loyola Chicago again. And, obviously I don't think that they'll be able to win, the Final Four, but, pretty impressive to knock off the number one seed of Illinois, who, at times they gave Ohio State fits. So that was the number one seed team, and they were able to do it pretty easily. So I see them going against Houston in the final and making it to Final Four again. And we'll see what happens, little sisters of the four. But we'll see what happens. But as far as champion, I just don't feel like Michigan can get it done. Neither Gonzaga. So I'm just going to go Baylor because Ohio State ain't played them in anything and they beat us. So I'll go with a school that ain't beating Ohio State. I'll go with Baylor.
Baylor. All right, Freddie, you can go ahead and hop back on now.
I just texted Freddie like, where you at?
Yeah, he's right there. All right, because that is pretty much it for the show for the night. So I'll go ahead and Freddie, you got 30 seconds. Any remaining things you got to say?
Hold on, we done?
Is that it?
We have one more topic, I thought.
Yeah, I thought we went into an hour and a half now.
Oh, okay. Well, if we're
that's cool.
going
We're cool. It's up to you guys.
No. Okay. So, all right. No, that's fine. We can jump into our next thing here. So we've already talked about these. I hate this next topic so hard because we haven't even gone to the NFL draft yet. We haven't even really finished free agency, but what the heck, since it's out there, we'll just talk about it. And so with this one, Trey, you get the pleasure of answering the first one on this, and that is who right now has to be the favorites to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, Tampa Bay.
That's easy.
It's going to be Tampa Bay and Kansas City rematch. I'm telling you all that right now.
No, it's not.
Okay.
Tampa Bay's the leader, baby. Wait, why y'all laughing? Why y'all laughing though? What was
Cleveland. It's Cleveland.
They was just 2 plays away from stopping Chad Henne to make it to the division. I'm like, what? He's still in the league? Nobody knew that. Only Chad Henne knew he was still in the league. But we building up that defense, baby. We're gonna be in the Super Bowl for the first time, and we can change the ending of Cleveland again.
Anyway, coming back to I like Cleveland. I like Cleveland. I don't know.
Now,
I'm actually rooting for Cleveland. I like Cleveland. I think they're going to make it to the AFC Championship game. I actually have them going against Kansas City in the AFC Championship game.
Why don't you have us taking an extra step and beating Kansas City? Because now we show up
because there's a bad man named Patrick Mahomes on the other side who wants redemption from what happened last year.
Cleveland should have won that game once he went down. There's no excuses.
That's true. It's true. I was really scared. I don't trust Baker. They should have. I agree with you. When Baker went down, or when Mahomes went down, I'm like, well, crap. Here we go. We're gonna see the upset of the year. Here we go.
Yeah, man.
But I honestly think that the way Kansas City lost last year to Tampa Bay, I think they're going to be on a mission to go back to the Super Bowl, and they want to face. And I think Tampa Bay, they're getting all their weapons back. They're getting everybody back, and they're going to improve through the draft. I think Tom Brady has something to prove as well. I think he wants to be the last person to go back-to-back because he did it with the New England Patriots, the last team to do it, and he wants to prove it that he can do it this year as well. So I honestly hope, because I feel like we got snubbed last year in the Super Bowl. I feel like that should have been a better game than what it was, and I think that
who is we?
The fans. I thought everyone thought it was going to be this high-scoring, great game, and it wasn't. It was a blowout and a dud. And I think that we need a redemption because 2021 is all about redemption, and it's going to be a great year for everybody. And I think we'd all deserve that. That's why I have in the Super Bowl. And I think Tampa Bay is going to win it again. And Tom Brady's going to ride off in the sunset with 8 Super Bowl rings and call it a career.
Oh man, that's crazy, man.
I don't know about the Chiefs coming back out of the AFC, but I do know that Tampa Bay is going to most likely run it back. Look, Tom Brady has shown once again that he can sustain a high level of play. He has shown once again that he's remained supreme in the NFL, that he's the top quarterback
Jonathan.
in the NFL. Look, I'm
Jonathan.
keeping it real with you, Freddie.
You're not keeping it real. Tell the truth. Tell the people the truth.
Telling the truth. This is the name of the show, right? Just say the truth. I'm saying the truth. Tom Brady is the man. He is the GOAT. He proved that, this past year when they won the Super Bowl. So,
Did
look,
he?
Rob Gronkowski's coming back. Tom Brady's coming back. They basically have the same team that they had a year ago. They're going to repeat. And Tom Brady, I think after this season, the following season, he'll probably play 2 more seasons. And who knows, this Tampa Bay team might just go on this epic dynasty, kind of like what happened in New England when he was there. I mean, it is what it is. The guys get
shots fired.
What was that?
Shots fired? Was that shots fired that I heard in the background? Okay, never mind. Sorry.
It wasn't from here.
It wasn't from here.
There's some shots fired of delusion takes going in them.
Okay.
Delusion? You want to talk about delusion? you think the Lakers are going to win every
The
day?
New York Giants. That's
LeBron in
No. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
Michael Cooper out here in LA, man. He come on TV. The Lakers will be down the series 3 games to none. He believed they could come back from a 3-0 deficit. You're just like that, Freddie. You're just like Michael Cooper.
Jonathan. Y'all missing the big point, man.
Oh, here we go.
You're hyping Tom Brady up.
Here we go.
I don't think Tom Brady beat Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs.
Oh, good.
But his defense did, and helped by the coach.
I was just about to say that Tampa Bay's defense, if it wasn't for that defense.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute. After Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions, who went 3 and out 3 times in a row? Who didn't complete a pass?
Your point. What did
I'm
Tom
not missing
Brady?
any point. Tom Brady gave you that.
What did Tom Brady do?
Tom Brady.
What did he do?
He got that team to the Super Bowl.
No. That defense got them to the Super Bowl.
That defense was a compliment as well, but you have to give a lot of credit to Tom Brady.
How? Why?
And let me tell you this.
Because he's the quarterback and he willed that team to victory. Without him, you don't win that game either.
No.
And our
the Super Bowl, the Chiefs was down 2 major tackles.
And our dumb and if we're talking about the NFC Championship game here, if you're talking about our dumb defensive coordinator that decided to call man with 8 seconds left before half, that's and right. I'm like, what are you doing? Why do you call that there?
But Adam, it's not even on the defensive coordinator. It's on Matt LaFleur. When you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, instead of you trying to go for it, you're going to give the ball back to Tom Brady.
That's not a guarantee.
That's not what I'm talking about, Freddie. I'm talking about right before half. I'm talking about at the end of the first half. Our defensive coordinator called man with 8 seconds left. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Put everybody back. That's what you got to do. You don't play freaking man in a situation like that. That's crazy. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Yes, and then when you're losing by 8 and you're at the 5, yeah, you go for it on 4th down. You go for it.
So you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. You don't have Dak Prescott. You don't have Danny Dimes. You don't have Carson Wentz. You have Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Can I just say one thing?
But
Aaron Rodgers was 1-4
this year is the Kansas City Chiefs. If they would have had both of the tackles in the game where they protected Patrick Mahomes where he didn't have to run 500 yards backwards, they would have won that game. Because
Wait a minute. You're right, Freddie. You're right. I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is, what Andy Reid should have done was, instead of moving everyone around, you should just replace Fisher in just that one player instead of moving everyone around, and he would have had a better opportunity. And then double team. That's what I'm going. But you're right. Go ahead.
You got a little too creative.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows the firepower that the Chiefs have is just crazy. Patrick Mahomes is out of this world. I mean, you have Tom Brady is, good as what he's accomplished, but Patrick Mahomes is a better. I'm gonna say the right word on this one. He is a better quarterback than Tom Brady at this moment. Okay, I will say that. I mean, there's quite a few quarterbacks that are better than Tom Brady. Brady just been in the right situation at the right.
Who's better than Tom Brady?
He just proved that.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson. I mean, do I need to keep going?
I thought you was gonna say somebody like Joe Montana or something. You name it.
I'm talking about playing right now. You talking about skill wise?
And you're talking about players he's already beat.
What is that, Trey?
You're talking about players he's already beat. He's beaten Aaron Rodgers.
He didn't beat his team. He didn't beat his team.
You're missing the point.
Okay. Matter.
Tom Brady threw 3 interceptions in that second half. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What did Aaron Rodgers do after that? Oh, wait.
His coach took the ball out of his hand. That's what he did.
That's the fourth quarter. I'm talking about the third quarter.
He took the ball out of his hand. That's what he did.
He didn't run on the fourth down.
Yeah, when it was wide open for him to run.
Right there. That was that.
You know why, Jonathan? Do you know why? Because he thought his coach was going to give him the ball. He said it.
But listen, that was that one decisive play that would have decided the outcome of the game.
Oh, well, typical Aaron Rodgers, right?
There you go.
But guess what?
Aaron Rodgers. No. Everyone else is Rodgers.
No, he even said that he thought he had everybody but himself. He thought he had 4 plays. His coach decided to make a bonehead decision, give his ball back to Tom Brady.
That's when you take initiative as the quarterback and you run it. You're a veteran quarterback. You've been around long enough to know.
So you saying disobey your coach?
What you call an audible if you out there and you see the situation better? You call an audible.
No, because guess what? Then if he fails, everybody's gonna be on him.
Oh well, but you want. I mean, you gotta try.
There you go. I went Rachel.
You go to your point. To your point, and we'll let this one go. You thought you had one. Aaron Rodgers had one more play after that run.
Yeah.
With him running it, he would have got down at the 1 or 2 yard line. Would you rather have the ball 1 or 2 yard line or the 6 yard line and 4th down?
It didn't matter if he had the baddest quarterback in the game taking over the game. It didn't matter.
I'm just saying
it was on the 40-yard line.
Okay, go ahead.
It don't matter. I got Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
Well, ladies.
But Aaron should have ran the ball, man, and people was like, well, he would have been killed. But you know what? It looked like he had a good angle and he should have tried. You call it audible. You the one out there playing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to play to win, and that's what that is. So I think Green Bay had the opportunity to win that game, and they blew it.
Yeah, they blew it big time.
It wasn't what Tampa Bay did. It was what Green Bay didn't do.
Okay. We have one last topic before we go to quit. With Anthony Davis, LeBron James hurt, who in the West is under the most pressure to win right now? I'm going to go ahead and start it off because this is one that I hope that I was going to go first. It's the Clippers. The Clippers are under the most pressure right now. Y'all remember last year when Kawhi came to L.A. with the little crown dangling to the billboard saying it's his city? Okay, Kawhi, it's your city. Win. Take over. Win the championship. Do something the Clippers never done. Go to a Western Conference Finals. Be relevant. Because I will say this. If they lose this year, Kawhi Leonard's up out of there. He's leaving California, Southern California. He's leaving. Bye-bye. And you know what, Kawhi? You should have came on over here to the purple and gold. You should have came on over here to the big city, to the big team, to the Lakers. You chose PG-13 over LeBron James and Anthony Davis. You should have came on over here home where Kobe and Shaq built the Staples Center. We got 17 rings. You should have came on over here. But you chose to go to the pandemic P instead of winning championship.
To the pandemic P.
I'm just saying. But if they lose, Kawhi Leonard's on up out of here. Who want to take this one next?
Yeah, I agree with you on this one, man. It's definitely the Clippers. They're a stacked team. They look good on paper, but they have not measured up to that greatness that's on paper. I think with that choke job that they performed a year ago, they want to respond to their critics, and I think the pressure is definitely on them. Now's the opportunity for them to come out of the West. If LeBron and AD is not back healthy, it's an opportunity for them to seize their moment and dominate in the Western Conference. So I'm with you, Freddie. I think all the pressure is on the Clippers at this point. We'll see what Paul George and Kawhi Leonard do in the playoffs.
All right, Rachel, who do you think's under the most pressure?
Western Conference. You said Western Conference, right? Well, why not the Utah Jazz since they in first place? Why ain't they under pressure?
They not for real.
I'm just saying they the ones in first place, but I always found that the decision for him to go to the Clippers very interesting, and I still don't understand why. He chose. Do you think it was almost kind of like on that Kyrie thing? I want to be my own man and do it on my own. I did it.
Yeah.
I did it in Toronto, so I have something to prove here as well that I can turn these franchises around, because I truly don't get it. You had the opportunity to go, get rings and not play as hard. So I never understood that choice to go there. He didn't
want to team up with LeBron, and he wanted to create his own history in the same city, just with a different team.
A lot of people can't play under LeBron. That's a lot of pressure. And,
Purple and gold is a lot of pressure. Look at the rich history behind the Lakers.
Hey, let's be real. LeBron was under a lot of pressure. I always said last year's championship, LeBron was under more pressure. The reason being is because he go into a franchise and there was only one superstar, and rest in peace to the legend, Elgin Baylor, was the only superstar that did not bring a championship to LA. Everybody else have. Jerry West, Shaq, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic, Kobe, all of them brought a championship. And LeBron didn't win the championship, y'all thought Cleveland fans was mad when he left Cleveland. Just imagine what us Lakers fans would have been. This man at the bottom, he would have made a rant video. He would have went to call him out. He called him out. He would have been everything if he didn't win the championship.
Y'all got enough championships. Y'all fine, man. Leave it alone.
We don't have enough. We want more.
Hey, winning never gets old.
Whatever.
So I gotta ask you a question right before we get off here. I gotta ask you. So the East Coast, do you guys get jealous of the Lakers, or like you see us winning and you get jealous of us in Boston?
Yeah, we hate y'all.
And we love it.
We hate y'all. And then when we see y'all fans coming to our stadium, it's like fight mode activated. Like I just want to start fighting everybody, but I can't. But yeah, I even hate to see y'all fans here.
So when you heard news that LeBron was coming to the Lakers, how did you feel mentally? Like,
you know what? This time around, I think a lot of people were not mad. They just accepted it because he brought us that title.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we were at peace. Like, when he left the first time, we were angry. And truthfully, I hated LeBron for 4 years. I was sounding like Trey. I rooted against him. I didn't want him to win anything because he left us. It was like Cleveland isn't good enough, and we've been a butt of jokes for however the longest. Our sports history is very very storied. So our player who was born here, grew up here, brought state titles to his high school, are, and people from Akron are very territorial about LeBron. So you can't say he's from Cleveland, he's from Akron. So whatever. But it's called the Cleveland Akron Canton metropolitan area. So technically, call it what you want. We ignore Akron, but whatever. We take it for LeBron. So, it was we were hurt. We were hurt when he left the first time. And I covered him that season before he left, and people was like, what he doing? What he doing? I'm like, I have no idea what he's doing. I thought he was going to stay here. And the world was shocked when you heard the kids and big brothers and big sisters audibly gasp at the Boys and Girls Club. How shocking that was. We were angry, but when he came back, happy times are here again. We were winning. We were making it to the finals, and we won that title. And, we saw after that year, we weren't good enough. I mean, once they got Kevin Durant, Cleveland, unfortunately, in that time period, we just came up against a generational type team, a dynasty team. So for Cleveland, it was just a matter of timing against the Golden State Warriors and what they were able to do. And then with the adding of Kevin Durant, who to me is still a sucker, but whatever. The addition of that, it just Cleveland couldn't do enough, can't get enough to get past those teams with Durant on there. In 2018, I still blame JR because, people in third world countries that didn't have televisions, they didn't have internet, they didn't have electricity. They knew what the score of the game was, but somehow you don't. Had they won that game, that might have changed, the series a little bit. Who knows? But had they been able to take game one in Golden State, that would have been huge. But this time around, we just accepted it. We weren't sad because we had that title. He left us with something, and that's completely different than leaving us with nothing.
Okay, one last question. I promise it's over. James Harden went back to Houston, got his jersey retired. Why haven't Cleveland done that for LeBron?
I think they went to the end of his career, and I believe he's going to retire as a Cleveland Cavalier. I think, if he don't, he'll do the one-day contract thing to retire as a Cavalier. But I think they probably discussed that with him, how they want to do it. So I think that'll be at the end of his career, and I think that's the way LeBron would probably prefer it to.
One more question for Rachel before we go. Do you think he gets a statue here in Los Angeles?
Do I think
No.
it's a statue in Los Angeles?
No.
Everyone gets a statue in LA.
No. No.
Nah, because it wasn't his team. It was like a pit stop for him.
Right.
Exactly.
It's not his
Don't
team.
put no statues, no pit stop in L.A. So what's wrong with you,
I don't
man?
think he would get one in Miami either.
Now, if he went three of them, in here, yeah.
I think that, they retire his jersey in Miami. They'll retire. Huh?
Not here in L.A. They won't.
He bought us a championship, bro.
Not one championship. You need to bring 2 or 3 championships.
He married into the Laker family.
No, not yet. He's still a stepchild.
After that speech that he did that night when they came back after Kobe's death.
That's nice, Jonathan. Of course. I was been pissed off he didn't do it. He's the leader. He gotta do that. He gotta do a 3-peat. We can't lose our standards in LA.
I think he won the city respect that night, and I just think he's deserving of so much more. That's just me, though.
So you don't think they'll retire his jersey, though?
No.
They won't retire his jersey?
No, we gotta do a 3-peat.
Do you think that he'll get 3 titles with the Lakers, though?
I think, hey, LeBron's trying to be better than Jordan. He's trying to get 7. He gonna get 3 with us.
I think more than anything than chasing the rings, I think he really wants to play with his son, Bronny.
He gonna do that in LA too.
LA ain't gonna be able to draft him. They gonna be too good.
Hey, the Buss family finding a way. Trust me.
I just don't want him looking like Vince Carter at the end of his career, where he could barely walk up the court.
Right?
It was pathetic, man. It was pathetic.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. I'll take anything back to bring 2016 back to see Kobe's last year. Just to see that dude play, man. That was my favorite player. Like, I love that dude right there. He's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. You talking about a player?
I'll never forget that night.
Woo!
Well,
I'm sorry, Freddie, but I have to disagree. Michael Jordan was the GOAT.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to close the show down.
Where did he go?
I guess they got tired.
Yeah.
Because this dude just said Michael Jordan the GOAT. I mean, stop it. Yeah. We'll get in that discussion Friday, okay? But Rachel, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me as always. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, well, Jonathan, thank you for coming on. Thank you, JR, for tuning in as well. Hey, follow the page, like the page as well, JR. You can catch us on Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Central. This is Just Tell the Truth. We are out. You guys have a good rest of your night.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.